Welcome back, fake genetic freaks. Today we got a lot of high jump, 2 foot high jump. We got we had a lot of sprints. We had 20-meter flies, and then we moved into the lift, which I had a pretty good day with Olympic lifts with my hang snatches, and then we went into front squat off of the pins, which is actually so much harder than regular front squats, even if you go fully down. I don't know if it's a balance thing or what it is, but it is so much harder. And then we went into some Bulgarian split squats just for the pump, just for some hypertrophy. Went into some deadlifts also for hypertrophy, and then went into some hammies and calves, which are not on the screen because they're boring to watch and boring to do. But yeah, for high jump, we got up to, for my left-right approach, I think I went up to 5.1 or 5.2, which was the first time going over 5, and then for right-left, I also jumped over 5 feet. I think it was the most two clips ago was the 5'1", 5'1.5", 5'2", or whatever. But yeah, so today's topic is mostly on how to recover well. I think it's super important because you talk about training and you're literally just damaging your muscles, you're frying your central nervous system. But in order to actually get stronger, bigger, faster, whatever, you need to recover. And that's where all of the adaptation happens. So yeah, I wrote down a list of a few things that are people say are good for recovery. So I'll just go through and give my thoughts on them. If I like them, if I don't, the science behind them, if there isn't science behind them that I'm aware of. So the first one is ice baths. I actually think these are really good for specifically your response to stress, which I think in overall it can help your body to manage how it handles stress, whether that be physical, mental, emotional, whatever. So in that case, I think that it really helps athletic performance. I think there's a problem with how cold you can get it, because sometimes it's like you literally feel hot, and I think there's something wrong with the nervous system when you're getting to that point. But overall, I mean, I've never actually felt a whole lot better after an ice bath. I just kind of felt sore like I normally would have, I think. And it's honestly, it's more of just like a good feeling. That would be the only reason I do it, or just to watch my friends do it for a challenge and watch them suffer. But ice baths are pretty, I would say they're helpful. I don't know of any like super scientific things to get rid of like DOMs or like actually increase performance the next day. But yeah, they're pretty well studied overall and just like benefit people in general. The next thing is contrast. So this could be contrast showers, which you just turn it super cold for a minute, you turn it super hot for a minute or whatever, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You just switch back and forth. And this is basically stimulating like a fake pump. So it's getting a lot of blood into your muscles, in and around, because your blood vessels are, I believe they are getting super close to the surface of your skin when it's hot to release heat, and then when you get cold they kind of shrivel up to conserve heat. And so it creates this false pump, but you don't actually have to damage your muscles, which is why it's like so helpful for recovery. I would say this is my favorite thing to do because I feel so good the next day. Maybe it's mostly placebo, but it is actually insane. And this is one of my favorite like active recovery methods to do. And then that kind of goes into cupping, which is the same thing. I think it gets the blood flow in a different way without actually having to damage the muscles. I think it might actually damage the muscles a little bit more than a contrast shower, contrast bath, or whatever. But overall, you're not having to use your muscles, and so it's just more like bruising in a way. And I feel like if you have a bruise, like you're not gonna be less strong or less athletic unless it's really bad. The next thing is sauna. I feel like people really enjoy it. I think I really enjoy it. I think it's pretty similar to ice baths in general. Like it's just super relaxing once you get into it. But I don't know if there's any actual benefits. I think it actually serves really well for the warm-up phase if you get in a sauna before a workout. Or yeah, I think that's probably the only reason I would use a sauna. Or if I could actually do it with an ice bath and make it a contrast, then I would use it. The next thing is massage. So that could be like a massage gun, that could be a foam roller, whatever. Maybe it's an actual massage. I think this is really good because it's breaking up the knots. It's like making sure that the muscle fibers that are together, like that are stuck together, are getting separated back into place. That's really hardcore bro science. So I don't know if that's actually scientific, but I mean, the best athletes in the world are usually not the most scientific, and they just go based off of what their body feels, and then use a lot of good evidence and reasoning to back up whatever they're trying to do. And then massage leads into acupuncture, which is I think more of a actually science-based thing. I haven't done a whole lot of research into it, but the idea is that you're doing more specific and just small insertion points for, like, it's like the massages where it's separating things that are supposed to be separate but are together, loosening things up. I've also heard a claim about it's stimulating inflammation without actually using your central nervous system, so you don't have to contract the muscle to tear it. You can just tear those tiny pieces. The next thing that I would say is pretty good is Epsom salt. I've heard this is kind of more of a hippie thing, like people just, people say things like, oh, crystals make you whatever, crystals make you this, or like these minerals make you this, minerals make you that. I think Epsom salt could definitely be one of those things. However, I have noticed a really, really good benefit. Maybe it's placebo. I don't really know. I don't really care. But the idea is that when you're in hot water and there's Epsom salt, there's minerals that go through your skin, into your body, into your muscles that can help you recover better. I don't know if that's true, but I really feel great afterwards. So yeah, and then the next two things that are actually super important that people forget about a lot is, one, sleep. Sleep is your time for your body to actually be in the best state of rest that it can be. So it's really important to sleep. I try and get around 8 hours. In an ideal world, I would get 9, because I just don't think I can actually sleep longer than that unless I'm sleep deprived. But in general, sleep is just really good for your body and for your mind as well. Like, you are a lot more likely to be able to train well if you're well rested and you've had that break from your mind. And then also it just gets people to slow down, and it's just a natural thing that your body and your mind need. Although the thing that I think people get really wrong about sleep and recovery is that it is the defining character. And I don't think that's true. I know plenty of people who hit their maximum performance on a horrible night of sleep. I know people like Isaiah Rivera, the first time he touched over 50 inches, over 50-inch vertical, he was on, I think, 3 hours of sleep. I know some family members, whoever, in my life, I have a cousin who hit 500 on squat on like an hour of sleep. Stuff like that. You know, when nerves get to you and you don't sleep very well, it's not the defining characteristic. But it is pretty important in long term in general. And then the next thing is eating. It's really important to be getting in your protein, be getting in your carbs, having a well balanced diet. But also, same thing with sleep. Like, it builds up over time, but it is not the most important thing. And you can get away with not eating a single vegetable or a single fruit and still be a freak athlete. You can be a fake genetic freak. But yeah, it just kind of depends. And then the best, so those were the second and third best ways to recover, or means of being healthy and recovering well. And then I also think the most important part of staying healthy and recovering well is to actually train well. I think a lot of times you're putting yourself in a bad situation when you overtrain or undertrain, and that's the most bang for your buck on recovery. If you have good training, you are going to have the ability to be recovered each workout, and like a deload week or a just an easier lift because you're sore or you're tired or whatever else. I think that your training goes underlooked on how you recover, because at the end of the day, like, you have to recover from something, and so if you do too much, then you're going to have to recover from a lot, but if you do too little, you're not going to have that much to recover from, and so recovery is not going to matter that much. But yeah, I think training is the most important thing when it comes to how recovered you are. And then also, just another thing is active recovery. I think going on walks and living an active lifestyle, where you're not closed off and sitting inside, is really beneficial. But yeah, that's pretty much it on recovery in my book. Also, these are the first, I think, real deadlifts I've done since I hit 405, so it felt really, really good. 235, 2x10, it was nice, gave me a pump, and that's it. Peace.